All right, let's do another example and jump right in. So this says a cylindrical steel cable can be manufactured by heating a steel block and forming the cable from the heated steel. This process is called extrusion. Extrusion. Suppose the original block is 16 feet long with an 18-inch by 18-inch cross-section. Okay. So let's say we have a block it looks like this. Okay. So there's our block. And let's say it's got an 18 by 18 cross section. So let's say this is 18 by 18 and these are inches and it's 16 inches long. Oops. Okay. Okay, let's see. So I just want to make sure I wrote this down right. So the original block is 16 feet. Oh, I'm sorry, 16 feet. 16 feet. Okay, there we go. That makes a big difference. So it's 16 feet long. That makes more sense. So 16 feet long, but it has an 18 by 18 inch cross section. Suppose further that a particular extrusion process is 96% efficient. Okay, what does that mean? Okay, that means that 96% of the volume of the original block ends up as steel cable. Okay, so that means there's 4% waste. Okay, so 96% efficient means that only 96% of the original volume ends up being cable. All right. Okay, we want to find the number of linear feet of 2-inch diameter cable that can be produced. Ooh, this is a good one. Okay. So we've got to do this in steps. Okay, so let's do this in steps. First of all, we need the volume of the block. That's easy, right? So the volume of the block, let's do that. So volume of the block is equal to just what? It's length times width times height, right? So it's length times width times height. So that's just going to be, now here's where we have to be careful because we need the correct units, okay? We've got feet and we've got inches. Okay, now in this case, since the wire that we're ending up with is 2-inch diameter wire, we want everything in inches. Okay, so let's convert the 16 feet into inches, right? So 16 feet over 1 times 12 inches per foot, right? And so we just do 12 times 16, which is going to be what? It's going to give us 192, right? So that's going to be 192 feet. Double check that, right? So 160 plus 32, yeah, 192. Okay. Oh, no, not feet. Inches. Okay. So 192 inches. So now that we've got everything in the same units, inches, now we can multiply. So 192 times 18 times 18. Right? A square end. Okay, so that gives us a volume of what? That gives us a volume of 62,208. 62. Okay, so there we go. Now, the next step is we know that the process from going from the block to the wire is 96% effective or efficient, meaning that only 96% of this volume ends up being in the wire, which means we need the volume of the wire to go to the next step. So that's where we're going to multiply this number by 0.96, because the volume of the wire is equal to 0.96 times the volume of the block. So that means that it's going to be 0.96 times 62,208, which then gives us what? It's going to be 59,719 0.68 cubic inches. Okay? And so now, with this, now that we've got the cubic inches, now let's go to the wire. So this is what we're going to end up with in the wire. So now let's talk about the wire. So we've got this wire, right? And what do we know about the wire? It's circular, right? So it's like a giant long cylinder. What do we know about it? We know that the end of the wire is 2 inches. Right? The diameter of the wire is 2 inches. Which means the radius is 1 inch. Okay? Now, remember the goal. What are we looking for? We're looking for the number of linear feet in this 2-inch diameter cable. Okay? Okay. Well, guess what? That means in this case, it's a cylinder lying down, so that means the length of the wire is the same as the height of a cylinder. Okay? So in other words, we're looking for the height of this cylinder, if you will. So that means, well, how do we find that? Well, we've got volume, right? So we know the volume, so let's use the formula for the volume. Volume is what? It's equal to the area times the height. The area of the base of the cylinder times the height, right? Which is equal to pi r squared h. Well, we know r, we know the volume, we can solve for h. So that means h is equal to the volume divided by pi r squared. So guess what? We can plug and chug now. H is equal to the volume. The volume is 59,719.68 cubic inches divided by area. We're taking volume divided by area. That's going to give us linear. It's going to give us a linear dimension, one-dimensional calculation, which makes sense because length or height is one-dimensional. So that makes sense. Okay, so pi times r squared, which is just 1 squared. So guess what? This just becomes 59,719.68 divided by pi, which is going to be approximately equal to what? What do we get? 19,009. Okay, so 19,009.36 inches. Now, what do they want? They want how many linear feet? Okay, so we're not done. So next step is we need to take this and we need to convert it to feet. Okay, so now we take our 19,009 inches, and 0.36 inches. And now we're going to use our unit ratio, right? 1 foot for every 12 inches. Oops, not 12 feet. Okay, so inches cancels with inches. And what do we get? Well, it's division problem, right? So we take 19,009.36 divided by 12, and that's going to give us, finally, 1584.11. 1584.11 feet, or just round it to 1584. So approximately 1,584 linear feet of cable can be made from that block of steel or iron, or what is it? Steel. Yep, since there's a steel cable. Okay, have a great day.